Sheriff Laughlin, Terry Husk.
I had a question about some flyers I keep seeing. White power. Is that the Aryan Nation?
Three.
Jude, good
Hey,
morning.
Jeff. Good morning.
Good to see you. Thank you for joining me today to talk about The Order.
Pleasure.
Fascinating film, a neo-Nazi thriller, white supremacists, robbing banks and pledging chaos in the Northwest. How does your character, FBI agent Husk, how does he take down this terrorist group? Where does he begin?
Where does he begin? Well, what I learned from the real agents and the books written about them and on the real case was it was first of all just trying to work out whether the movement that they were trying to build was indeed linked to the bank robberies, and then trying to understand what it was they were doing with the money, and then understanding the pattern. And of course, when they uncovered this Bible they were following, the Turner Diaries, they suddenly realized they could get ahead because they knew what the stages were that they were trying to achieve and what they were leading to. But I think initially it was really trying to understand the motivation. And then what I learned was that, a big part of what these agents do meticulously is gather information, data, evidence, and that takes a lot of time. Following people, watching people, assessing people's behavior, and waiting for the right time to move. Of course, the big breakthrough was getting the gun, finding a firearm that they could link to the group and therefore link to the bank robberies. But it was a little bit like, finding the tax deficiencies of Al Capone as a way of breaking into his enormous empire. They were never going to catch Capone for the offenses they knew he was guilty of. They had to kind of find a crack in the armor to get in. It was a little similar to that.
Yeah, because this movie, it's fact-based crime story, but it focuses on character and storytelling too. It blends and balances both.
We were in the hands of, the wonderful Justin Cazell, who I think makes films in a very unique way. He looks at them from a kind of humane perspective. He doesn't judge. He lets you work out what it is and the decisions these people have made and the communities that they build around them, the forks in their life and the choices they've made to go down which avenue and why. And so you're watching, as you say, a character piece. It means that also all the characters have great backstory and a sense of authenticity. And he folds that then into the genre, because at its heart, this is really a cat and mouse thriller.
Now, did you train as an FBI agent? Did you do ride-alongs or seek out any law enforcement?
I didn't know. I just talked to an awful lot of them. Of course, this is set in the early 80s, and the agency was different then, the approach was different then, they had different boundaries then. There are a lot of similarities, of course, still to now. So it was more important to me to go back and talk to the guys who were working then and read some of the books that they had written about that era.
Well, like you said, this takes place in the 1980s, but with the rise of anti-Semitic attacks and fascism, it seems like the order is just all too relevant today, doesn't it?
Sadly so. I mean, it was at the heart of one of the decision we made to tell it now. It felt like, this piece of history, story that few had heard, that was also a sort of seedling to where we are now globally. I mean, there was just an attack the other day, or not an attack, but a protest with swastikas and what have you. I mean, shocking behavior. And in Michigan, I think it was. It just seemed incredibly timely and relevant.
Well, a message film that brings awareness, also thrills, great story. Jude, thank you so much for joining me today. Congratulations, and let's talk again soon. Thank you so much.
I hope so. My pleasure.